Over the years in Madden, blocking abilities and pass rush abilities have been a point of confusion for many players, leading to frequently asked questions that I get all the time, whether it be here in the comments section or over on my Twitch channel or on my strategy website, Gridiron Game Plans. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all the abilities that you must be using on offense and how they counter the defense. This is going to hopefully allow you to get more time in the pocket and become a more efficient passer. Now, the first ability that we're going to start off with in this breakdown is the Secure Protector. This is the holy grail pass protection and run protection, a little bit of a hint there, ability in Madden, and it actually was broken down into two sub abilities, so you could choose one or the other. Now, if you recall last year in Madden 24, this was the only ability in the game that players used, and it did a good job of stopping your edge threat, pass rush ability, double or nothing, as well as the pre-lit X Factor abilities such as Unstoppable Force or Colossus. Now, if you could get this ability on an offensive lineman for really cheap, I'm talking free or 1 AP in Madden, you should absolutely do so. But this is where Madden 25 has served as a very confusing game for a lot of players, and they don't really know whether or not they should be using other abilities when their player doesn't get Secure Protector at a discount. So this is where we kind of lead off with Pass Protector and Run Protector. These two abilities combined are literally Secure Protector. So you notice right here with Jordan Mailata, I have the choice to pay for Secure Protector for 3 AP. And if we take a look at his other buckets, he doesn't actually get Secure Protector anywhere else. However, in this particular bucket, he gets Pass Protector, and he's got two of this exact same carbon copy bucket. So rather than paying for Secure Protector for 3 AP, it makes a lot more sense for me to utilize Pass Protector for free in one bucket and Run Protector for free in the other, essentially creating Secure Protector via those two abilities and saving me 3 AP in the meantime. Now, to explain what these abilities do, the pass side of it, I just explained. It basically prevents quick pass block shed moves. These are the ones associated with your edge threat elite, double or nothing, and then some of those pass rush abilities that not many players use, such as like Speedster or Swim Club or El Toro, where they get those bull rush swims and spin moves. The other thing that this does is it shuts down any defensive pass rusher that has a X Factor ability, such as Unstoppable Force or Colossus or Dual Threat, where when they're lit up, they get those instant wins and they can literally wreck games by themselves. But one of the things that players did not know about Secure Protector last year was that it also shut down run stopping abilities such as Inside Stuff or No Outsiders or Run Stuffer. Those abilities players used often last year to shut down the run game. Now, albeit Madden 25 doesn't really have a great run game, so I would probably prioritize Pass Protector over Run Protector, because the run game, like I said, is just not that good. However, those two combined build Secure Protector, which shuts down any defensive line ability that basically sheds in either the pass game or the run game. So it's great to have both if you can, but if you have to choose between one or the other, I'm going Pass Protector 101 times out of 100. Now, from there, I want to talk about the second most important ability in the game, and that is All Day. We've already shut down the first quick move with our Secure Protector or Pass Protector. Now, all of a sudden, we're into the second moves and the third moves that defensive linemen try to utilize to get off of a pass block. These sheds that players get upset by can be nullified, or at least the timer will give you longer if you can equip All Day. So essentially what this means is that when you talk about what do you want on an individual pass protector, well, you need Pass Protector, and if you can, put All Day on him. If you can get both for 0, you're gonna have a stud lineman that will handle any one-on-one block, regardless of whether they have a pass rushing ability or an X Factor. And you'll notice that they're almost unsheddable against players that really don't have anything to speak of in terms of abilities. And when I say unsheddable, I'm not saying you're going to have 10 seconds, but you're going to hold pretty much every block for 4.5, 5 seconds. especially holding those blocks longer into the third and the fourth quarter as those matchups get resistance against the pass rushers they're blocking. So if there's one thing that you guys learn about this video, your offensive linemen are best when they have pass protector and all day. Now, the next ability I want to talk about when it comes to offensive linemen is post up. Post up is especially useful when you are dealing with a Colossus. Now, I did mention that pass protector shuts down those X factor pass rushes, such as the edge threat or the double or nothing or the unstoppable force or the Colossus. But what I did not note about the Colossus is that there is a second benefit to that ability. While it is unstoppable force in a one-on-one scenario, it also is a double team splitter on its own as well. So the weird thing about this is that if you have a offensive lineman that is doing a double team with another offensive lineman, both of them can have the pass protector ability, but a Colossus will actually split that pass block despite both of them having that ability. You have to have one of the two players in the double team with post up. So when it comes to your offensive line, it's really, really important that pretty much all of them have pass protector and all day, but you want to make sure that you have one player on your offensive line that has pass protector all day and post up. Okay. And this is really, really important usually on the center, because when you talk about a Colossus splitting double teams, you're talking about D tackles more often than not. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you'll face a Colossus on the edge in a 3-man rush and they'll split a guard tackle double team. That's why as you get your offensive line to be a little bit better in this game, you might start to look towards your tackle having this. So that way you can have a post up on a guard tackle double team. You could have a post up on a center guard double team. And then over on the other side, you could have potentially a post up on your other guard tackle double team, meaning that if it's one-on-one, all the guys can handle their assignments one-on-one. And if there's a double team to be had, somebody on your offensive line that's part of that double team will have the post up to make sure that the Colossus can't win and split that instantly. So that is the quick way that I can explain how the most important abilities on the offensive line work. Before we get into practice mode and I show these to you in live action, I want to make sure that you guys are subscribed right here to the channel. If this video is beneficial for you guys, make sure that you guys give the video a like. I would appreciate any comments below, as this helps this video perform in the YouTube algorithm. It's arguably the most important thing, is that engagement that the videos get. So if you guys don't mind dropping a comment below, if this was helpful, if there's a question you have, literally anything will help push this video out and help this channel perform so it reaches other players just like you who are looking for tips and tutorial content. Now, if this tips and tutorial content is not enough for you, make sure you guys also check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. My Gridiron Game Plans members get all the information that you guys get here and a lot more that never sees the light of day here on this YouTube channel. Opened in 2020, it's the #1 place to get better at Madden and college football for the lowest price and with the most content for what you pay. Best deal in the tip space. Weekly updated vault content focused on the meta, the most effective tactics, what the pro players do, how it works, and how to counter it. If you guys have noticed lately, you're facing a lot of these pre-lit X factors and the best defenses in the game are shedding you. You guys are going to get the particular AP setup like you've got here in the video. You guys get the blocking setups that I put into the checkpoint video in our March vault update. So that way you guys know how to block 1-4, 3-2, 3-4, 4-3, even 6-1, double mug, you guys name it. I show you guys how to block it on the website. And now you'll have the right AP in the right spot to make sure that you have longer so you can destroy those coverages behind those. You get everything on the website for $9.95 a month. I update the website weekly, and there's weekly lab sessions inside our Discord server where you guys can ask anything that might be ailing you in the game, and we'll work through it so you guys can solve it on the spot and get on with winning more games, more Super Bowls, more rewards, spending less on packs. That's the most important part. So make sure you guys go check it out. Now let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big pass rush abilities guy. If there was one particular ability that I think is worth having on your team, that is the Colossus. I did talk about this ability. This is something you can find on some of the newer Combine items in Ultimate Team. If you guys are watching this in March when I put this out, obviously later on in the season, there might be newer and better content other than the Combine that get this. But this ability is essentially going to be dominant pass rush, and it says even against double teams. So just what I said earlier, it's unstoppable force when one-on-one, but when you are double teamed, normally those double teams do a really good job at holding their blocks. Well, he's going to split it unless there's that post up that I talked about. So if there's one particular ability that comes to the defensive line that I recommend, it is the Colossus. I utilize it on the Don Terry Poe combine item, but there are others that get it that cost way less coins than what he costs. And you guys can utilize him. I use him as a nose tackle in my defense. That way he's always eating a double team and splitting it if there's no post up. But then the other benefit to this is that depending on what you run, you might be able to identify, oh, hey, my opponent doesn't have guard and a tackle on this side with post up. Let me go stick him over there. So that way he splits those double teams and can cause issues through the B gap or off the edge, splitting a double team against a tackle and a tight end, for instance. So really, really important that you guys, if you do have extra AP and you're trying to think, I might throw this on my D line, Colossus. Don't think twice. It's Colossus. Now, as I mentioned, there are other X factors or pass rush abilities on the D line that can be of use to you, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. These abilities are not that good because of the free or the 1 AP pass protector that we already covered. So I'm going to quickly go through some of the more passive abilities. You got Edge Threat. This is dominant moves off the edge. Here's why you never use Edge Threat or Edge Threat Elite. Even the worst offensive tackles in Ultimate Team get this ability that is known as Edge Protector. You'll notice that I didn't even talk about Edge Protector because it's a terrible ability because it only blocks this ability. Now, the thing about Edge Threat is that it's also blocked by Secure Protector or Pass Protector in addition to the Edge Protector. So Edge Protector does far and away the least of any pass blocking ability in the game. You should never use it, but this is the worst pass rushing ability in the game for an Edge because it gets shut down by literally anything on an offensive lineman. And every offensive lineman in the game, bare minimum at tackle, is getting Edge Protector for free if they're not getting Pass Protector for free. Okay, so I'm not a fan of Edge Threat. I'm not a fan of Edge Threat Elite. I'm not a fan of Double or Nothing either. It says grants these dominant pass rush wins at twice the cost. Again, Double or Nothing gets shut down by a Secure Protector. It gets shut down by a Pass Protector. It may not get shut down by an Edge Protector because this could be a Double or Nothing running at the D tackle. And obviously Edge Protector only works at tackle position. So again, Pass Protector trumps this. It's not worth using. Now, some of these other abilities that you see, if they're free, by all means, utilize them. But I'm going to tell you, they're not that impactful. I'm just not a huge fan of the pass rush abilities. I know my good buddy Cole45 over at the Virtual Lab Partner is probably shaming me right now because he's huge. He is huge on pass rush abilities, but I'm just not a believer in these. I don't really think that they do too much. I will say that anything that allows you to prevent resistance is worth utilizing, or anything that grants you a free pass rush move is worth using, because you'll notice that there's these green bars over your pass rushers' heads. And as you use pass rush moves, they lose those green bars. And once they lose all their green bars, they don't rush anymore. So those will fill between timeouts or change of quarters or halftime or drive to drive. You'll refill your pass rush moves. But late in a drive, you may notice that, you know, if you've run out of pass rush points, your guys are not really out there trying to do those moves as often. So things like buy one, get one could be nice in that regard. Free pass rush move after spending a point. Instant rebate gives you an extra point to start with. So if you have 4 pass rush points as your max, it'll give you 5. Adrenaline rush, if you sack the quarterback, it gives you all your points back. That could be nice if it's free. Things like run stopper, believe it or not, you use your points to shed in the run game. So that's why sometimes players will soften you up with the run, and then your pass rush just doesn't feel like it's doing anything. I would say if there's a single ability in the game from a pass rushing perspective that you could get for free, I would say Unpredictable is pretty solid, just because when you do get a shed, that offensive lineman doesn't learn the move as quickly. That's called resistance. You'll notice over the course of the game, like I mentioned, that resistance builds up and your guys hold blocks longer. Unpredictable just kind of negates that resistance a little bit. So I'm not going to go too much into Mr. Big Stop or, you know, El Toro or any of those. They're really not that important in that grand scheme of things. Let's move on to what's really, really important in terms of individual pass rush moves, and that's going to be the X Factor type of rushes. Now, there are items in the game such as DeMarcus Ware, George Karlaftis, et cetera, that get these as actual abilities. But if you're going to talk about X Factors that you can put on your individual pass rushers, it is going to be Unstoppable Force. These are quick wins. They're going to be able to get that insta shed that people talk about. But again, reminder, if an Unstoppable Force is blocked by a pass protector or by a secure protector, Unstoppable Force is wiped out completely. So long story short, on the defensive line, Colossus is really damn good. Everything else is really damn not. Okay, so that's the way that we have to explain this. Now let's get into practice mode so you guys can see this operating at its full potential. What I'm going to do is I'm going to equip Unstoppable Force on Khalil Mack, and I'm going to keep my Colossus, and I'm going to equip another Unstoppable Force. That way you guys can see the glowing players against my non-glowing offensive linemen. We're going to go ahead and put this offensive line to the test. I want to show you what having these abilities at every spot on your offensive line. I would recommend paying AP for this AP stack if you can, to at least get all day and pass protector on as many players as possible. I would be willing, with all the extra discounted AP in the game, to pay 1 AP for the stack wherever you can find it. Bare minimum, get pass protector on your team. If you could fit all day in behind it, great. That's kind of where we're starting, all right? So let's go ahead and just put the base rush to the test here. We'll get into glowing linemen here in a second. This is a 4-man rush, and I want you to see how our offensive line works. So we're gonna snap the ball here. You're gonna see everybody lighten up like a Christmas tree. Look at the blocks being held. Pretty good in terms of our pocket. Now, we did get a win right there by the one-on-one at the right guard position. We'll snap this a few times. You're gonna see that it does a really good job. I mean, really quite good. If your pocket presence is pretty quiet, like if you don't press too much, like if your feet are quiet, you'll notice that, like, look at the pancakes. It's good. I mean, certainly up the middle, you're in a real good spot because of the post up. The big thing here is that look at how that post up is like secured. You're able to, you know, climb the pocket. Nothing really too much here. I am on all Madden where the pass rush is faster. You guys also know that practice mode pass rush is on steroids. If you played this game, it's really, really, really good. And again, you're seeing the pass protectors light up. I mean, it's just, you can scramble, you can step up. There's a real true pocket to really move into. And of course, you could always do your protections, slide your protections, whatever it is you feel comfortable with. But again, look at that. I mean, most of these examples, I'm just snapping the same play. You're in a real good spot. Again, these 4-man rushes, they take quite a long while to get home. I mean, look at the pocket here. I can hold the ball for 3, 4, 5 seconds and we're in a good spot. You don't have to get the ball out right away. You're looking good. Now, of course, then we're going to get into people that are going to start to run the pre-lit players, the guys with the X Factor abilities. So let's go ahead here and throw these guys on the field. So we're going to take a little bit more of a look into what's going on. Now, keep in mind, all 5 of my offensive linemen on this field have pass protector and all day. This means pass protector is supposed to shut down the one-on-one rush, if there is one, and then all day is supposed to just hold on to that a little bit longer. Now, I want to specify, when you're dealing with these players that have the pre-lit X Factors, they are eventually going to get off the block. You're not going to see 7, 8, 9 second pockets against them, but you will on a more consistent basis see much longer to hold the block. The key though, however, is the Colossus. When there is a Colossus on your field, you have to make sure that you get a double team on him. So I'm going to snap the ball as a base setup here. We'll see what happens. They look not too bad. Really, it looked not too bad. But exactly what I predicted with the Colossus was going to occur. We noticed that the Colossus had that one-on-one. Let's kind of take a look at the Unstoppable Forces. They didn't get crazy upfield rush animations. We saw a spin move to the outside. Mailata shut it down over there on the Unstoppable Force. Reblocked him. Look at our interior pocket. I mean, you see the Colossus did a bull rush move to Humphrey. Humphrey got right back into his animation and held his block longer. Look at Lindstrom with the pass protector and all day handling Urlacher from depth. And then you see that we have a post-up situation on that Unstoppable Force on the right, where you have a pass protector blocking him one-on-one. We get a post-up applied to him. He's not splitting that at all. So essentially, because we had 3 one-on-ones in a double team here, our pass protectors did their job. The one scary thing on this play was probably Creed Humphrey almost getting run over by the Colossus, but we can make a change to that here. So what we're going to do here is, judging by that protection, we saw one-on-ones for the 3 players on the left, and we saw a double team on the right. We don't really need the double team on the right because we're confident in our pass protector against the Unstoppable Force and Khalil Mack. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide our protection to the left with a half slide. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put a double team on him, and that's going to change the targeting. So now what we get is essentially going to be a double team on the nose tackle with single team on Khalil Mack. Now, the one thing that's a little scary here is it looks like Urlacher might come in through the gap, but you saw right there that we were in a much better spot. Okay, the guard didn't turn out to do a double team against Peppers. That was pretty good. Of course, we could always improve our pocket presence. Some plays, for what it's worth, have a deeper drop than others. This particular play that I'm dropping, our guy is like taking a crazy 7-step drop, which makes actually edge rush animations even better. So believe it or not, we're actually working against our own interest with this stock drop on this play from the quarterback. That's neither here nor there for now, but look at this pocket. Start with the unstoppable force on the right. Handled by Hinton. No instant win at all. Pass protector shuts it down. A little bit of a move to the outside, but again, you can always climb the pocket. This is enough time to do work. I'm sorry. Like, if you're a type of player that's like, oh, well, he got beat. Two things. One, climb the pocket. Two, you had enough time. You know, a lot of people think if they don't have 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball that they got beat and it was fluky. Step up. Step up. That's always going to be key. And how do you step up? By handling business up the middle with your post-ups. Because our Colossus was blocked by the post-up on Humphrey, he could not do anything against this, including split the double team. Notice here, he was unable to do so. He got absolutely shut down on this play. Nothing doing. Meanwhile, our pass protector working against Urlacher. This pass protector prevents any instant win. All Day holds it longer. You see him fighting, and he can't get off that block. The All Day did a really good job. It took Urlacher 3 moves to be able to get to the quarterback. So what does this mean? This means now that when it comes to this type of play, you just need to make sure that you step up in the pocket. This will be the big thing that you have to do. And of course, if there's a Colossus, make sure you get the double team icon on it, because right there, our pass protection fell apart because we didn't handle our Colossus. So slide your protection, do your double team. I think I'm gonna get screamed out off the right because we're fine here. I mean, look at this. This is a pocket, okay? And you can see the guys off the edge, like, oh, he spun back to the inside. You've got time to see that. You don't have time when a guy splits up the middle. Now, of course, when it comes to other blitz metas, this can start to work into a lot of different cases. But I do want to make sure that you guys understand here, when you deal with some of these blitz metas, it's super, super important that you understand how to block this. So one of the things here, you get these loop metas. Well, one of the prominent ways that you block this is by double teaming the right of screen defensive end. Well, if there's a Colossus, that means he gets a one-on-one, and that's probably not ideal. So now what you end up with, or you get the loop coming in free, that's not great either, okay? So what you need to do is you need to think, all right, well, if my opponent's doing a loop blitz, let's go ahead and use the play action thing to dumb out that looper, because what that will allow us to do is still send 5 guys out on a route, and I'll even be able to double team the nose tackle to prevent that from happening. So now you see, look at this pocket, much easier. You can climb it. If those unstoppable forces off the edge get that second move that I talk about, like unstoppable force does a good job against the all day portion of a pass protection all day ability stack, but it doesn't beat the pass protector portion of the stack. And that's what I'm getting at. So when you talk about Colossus, it can win one-on-one sometimes. It can never win against a double team if you have a post up. The unstoppable forces that are glowing cannot beat the pass protectors, and they'll beat the all day portion of that stack, albeit a little bit slow. I would much rather get shed off the edge where I could step up. So it's really, really important that you have everything handled in the middle. And if you do, you'll be looking at pockets like this, where even if you do get shed off the edge, you can step up confidently, scramble, and if you get sacked, this is a gain or a loss of 0. We're back at the original line of scrimmage. You have potential to step up, read the field, make a throw, or scramble for 10 to 15 yards if your quarterback is mobile. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.